Dear friends, gather round and let me share with you the tale of my woeful experience at the Porfi Beach Hotel Nikiti. It's a story of shattered dreams, of promises unkept, and of the crushing disappointment that still lingers in my heart. As I stepped into this supposedly idyllic getaway, I was immediately struck by its beautifully manicured gardens. The deceptive allure of those lush greens. For dear friends, it was all downhill from there. The room was a travesty. A double superior room, they called it. It was a relic from a bygone era, with a bathroom that seemed to have been last renovated during the Soviet era. The toilet, I kid you not, was positioned at an alarming height, forcing me to perform acrobatic feats just to take care of business. And don't even get me started on the lizard that took up residence on the curtain rail. Talk about an uninvited guest, but alas, the horrors didn't stop there. The service, if one could even call it that, was a masterclass in ineptitude. I requested a room change, and what did I get in response? A series of unfulfilled promises. It'll be ready tomorrow at noon, they said. Tomorrow came, and with it a new room, but one that reeked of mediocrity. And then there was the food. The food. Imagine a culinary experience that's akin to being force-fed a soggy, flavorless sponge. The breakfast was an affront to the senses, a travesty that I wouldn't wish upon my worst enemy. Cold, congealed, and utterly devoid of love, it was a culinary crime scene. But what truly broke my heart, dear friends, was the sewage that flowed directly onto the road by the beach. The stench, the stench, was a constant reminder that this hotel was a ticking time bomb of neglect and incompetence. It was as if they took a beautiful, pristine beach and said, you know what would make this better? A healthy dose of raw sewage. And the staff, bless their souls, seemed to be suffering from a collective case of selective deafness. Ignore a child, they did. Ignore a customer's pleas, they did. It was as if they were trained in the art of detachment, of plausible deniability. Now I know what you're thinking, dear friends. Why did you stay? But that's the thing, I didn't stay by choice. I was held captive by my own desperation, by the hope that things would get better. But they didn't, they only got worse. So here's the lesson, dear friends. I repeat, do not be swayed by those deceivingly beautiful gardens. Look beneath the surface, and you'll find a cesspool of incompetence, of neglect, and of broken dreams. And to you, dear Porfi Beach Hotel Nikiti, I say this. You had the chance to make it right, to redeem yourselves, but you blew it. You blew it in the most spectacular fashion, like a fireworks display of incompetence. So I'll leave you with this, dear friends. Be wary of the wolf in sheep's clothing. Be wary of the hotel that promises the world but delivers only heartache. And always remember, a beautifully manicured garden can hide a multitude of sins. What do you think, dear friends? Share your thoughts, your agreements, and your own horror stories in the comments below. Let's create a chorus of voices, a rallying cry against the injustices of the hospitality industry. And to those who would say, but it's just a hotel, it's not that big of a deal, I say this, it's not just a hotel. It's a symbol of the broken promises, of the shattered dreams, and of the crushing disappointment that we've all experienced at some point or another. It's a reminder that we, as consumers, deserve better. We deserve to be treated with respect, with dignity, and with a sense of justice. So let us raise our voices, dear friends, and let us demand better. Let us create a world where a beautifully manicured garden is not just a facade, but a reflection of the excellence that lies within. Thank you for listening, dear friends. Until next time.
So I'm looking into crimes near Porfi Beach Hotel Nikiti, to see what's going on in that area. And honestly, it's not looking too good. Like, I wish I could say everything's perfect, but no. So businesses near Porfi Beach Hotel Nikiti are like super sneaky, They'll try to rip you off, especially if you're a tourist. Like, I found this one story where a guy went to a souvenir shop, and they sold him like totally fake stuff. He thought he was buying authentic Greek products, but nope, it was all counterfeit. I'm like, how could you, right? It's so wrong. So what probably happened next is that the guy realized he got ripped off, and he was all upset and stuff. Maybe he even tried to go back to the shop, but they probably just denied everything. I mean, who's gonna take responsibility, right? And the guy was probably left with like a bunch of useless junk and a lighter wallet. That's so sad, And then businesses near Porfi Beach Hotel Nikiti are like super pushy, They'll try to sell you stuff you don't even need. Like, I heard about this one time where a tourist went to a restaurant and they got like super aggressive with the upselling. The tourist just wanted a simple meal, but the waiter was all, oh, you have to try this or that. And before you know it, the bill was like triple what they expected. I'm like, come on man, can't you just leave people alone? So what probably happened next is that the tourist was all stressed out, trying to figure out how to pay the bill, and maybe even had to, like, skip other activities because they ran out of money. And the waiter was probably just like, laughing all the way to the bank, you know. It's so unfair. Anyway, that's what I found out about crimes near Porfi Beach Hotel Nikiti. It's not like the safest place, but I guess that's what happens when you're in a touristy area. Just, be careful, okay?
The truth about businesses near Porfi Beach Hotel Nikiti. The businesses near Porfi Beach Hotel Nikiti are a lesson in disappointment. If you're expecting charm, value, or even basic competence, prepare to lower those expectations. The reviews paint a picture of an area where tourists are seen as walking wallets, ripe for overcharging, neglect, or outright disrespect. Let's start with the restaurants. Dining near Porfi Beach Hotel is a gamble where the house always wins. The food is often overpriced and underwhelming, served with a side of indifference. Take Aristos Fish Restaurant Asterisk, where the calamari arrives watery and unseasoned, the shrimp dry as cardboard, and the bill padded with charges for bread you never ordered. One guest described the stuffed squid as the worst I've had in my life, which is impressive considering Greece is surrounded by sea. The waiters, either rude or invisible. One manager allegedly doubled the price of fish soup mid-meal, then argued aggressively in front of a baby. Classy. Then there's the Danai Asterisk, where fine dining means being shoved into a makeshift table with a view of the beach club's roof. Reservations, meaningless, service, hostile. One family accused staff of racial profiling after being harassed for playing music at a volume quieter than the neighboring Instagram influencers chewing. The manager's response, "Are you Russian?" Because nothing says luxury resort like xenophobic interrogations over lounge tunes. Beach bars are no better. Kalavaki Beach Bar treats umbrellas like rare artifacts, reserved for locals, never tourists, even if you arrive at dawn. Their policy, no reservations unless it's for our friends. One group was forced to crowd together so staff could accommodate their buddies, while another was charged €16 for a coffee and juice, no bill, just vibes and theft. The umbrellas are made of straw, which is fitting, because so is their integrity. Vertigo Cafe Bar Asterisk is where drinks come in plastic cups. Unless you're the guy next to you, he gets glass. The minimum spend policy feels like extortion, and the service moves at the pace of a sleepy sloth. Reservations for suns vanish by 9:20 a.m., and waiting 90 minutes for a pancake is normal. One Italian guest described their pizza as stale bread disguised as food, which is tragic, given Italy is a short flight away. Even cafes fail spectacularly. The Mall Pastry Cafe serves Greek coffee that tastes like regret, and the staff shout orders like they're auditioning for a war drama. A child with a dairy allergy was given sorbet that was actually ice cream, because who checks ingredients when you can just gamble with a toddler's health? So what's the verdict? Businesses near Porfi Beach Hotel Nikiti operate on a simple formula.